There comes a moment in a woman's life when she gets tired of being almost chosen, almost prioritized, almost respected, almost loved in the quiet, steady way her soul knows she deserves. She is not short on love to give. She is not missing beauty, depth, or loyalty, but she starts to notice a pattern. Men are attracted to her, yet they don't hold her properly. They flirt with her, but they don't build with her. They draw from her energy, but they don't protect it. They remember her when they feel lonely, but they forget her when they start planning their future. And one day she sits with herself and thinks, I don't want to be treated like an option anymore. If I'm going to be in a man's life, I want to be the woman he values deeply, not the woman he cycles through. That decision matters, because that is the day she stops living from the part of her that performs for small pieces of attention and starts living from something deeper. The part of her that knows she is not here to chase love, but to live in alignment with it. Being a luxury is not about being difficult, cold, or high maintenance. It is about living from one simple truth. I am not easily replaced because I do not move through life like everyone else. Before we go any further, pause with me for a moment. If you've ever felt yourself slipping into the option role, answering late night messages, waiting to be picked, shrinking your needs, and something inside you is finished with that pattern, type the word luxury in the comments. Just one word. No explanation needed. It's not for me, it's for you. It's you telling your own nervous system, I'm ready to stop living like a backup plan. And if you keep finding videos like this exactly when you need them, take a second to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next reminder when your spirit needs it. At the end of this video, there will be a playlist on the end screen. Save it. Tonight, when you're getting ready to sleep, let it play softly in the background. Your body will rest, but your subconscious will keep listening, absorbing, and choosing you. Now, let's talk about 7 feminine habits that quietly shift you from being an option to being someone a man knows he cannot treat lightly. It begins with moving from proving to being. There is a version of feminine energy that is always trying to prove herself. Prove she's different. Prove she's worth staying for. Prove she can handle anything. Prove she's easygoing, unbothered, low maintenance, endlessly understanding. So she over-explains. She over-gives. She over-accommodates. She replies instantly. She laughs off disrespect. She accepts crumbs and calls it patience. This is what happens when a woman believes she must earn love by performing. A luxury woman doesn't live there. Her first habit is an internal shift. She stops proving and starts being. She no longer uses her energy to convince a man of her value. She uses her energy to live it. That means she doesn't reply just to show she's available. She replies when she genuinely has the space and desire to connect. She doesn't tolerate disrespect to seem relaxed. She calmly says, that doesn't work for me, and lets her actions back it up. She doesn't list her qualities like a resume. Her presence, her standards, and her consistency speak for her. A woman who has stopped trying to prove herself carries a quiet steadiness that is deeply attractive, because most people are constantly chasing validation. She isn't. And when a man meets a woman who is not auditioning for him, something shifts in him. He realizes he can't just say the right things. He actually has to show up, because she is not trying to be chosen. She is deciding if he fits into her life. That is luxury. Another habit is setting boundaries without shutting down her heart. Some women, after years of being treated like an option, decide to harden. They say, fine, I'll stop caring. They play games. They pretend they're unaffected. They numb their own softness. But that is just another version of armor. A luxury woman chooses something different. She learns to set boundaries that are gentle but firm. Her heart stays open, but her life is not open access. She does not allow a man's inconsistency to live rent free in her nervous system. If he only reaches out late at night, she doesn't lecture him. She simply doesn't reward that pattern with her time. If he overwhelms her with attention and then disappears, she doesn't chase clarity. She lets him fade because she is not available for emotional chaos. If he mocks or minimizes her feelings, she doesn't argue for her worth. She notices the lack of safety and stops investing there. Her boundary is simple. I do not participate in situations that require me to abandon myself. She doesn't threaten. She doesn't announce her value online for applause. She just lives it. And a man can feel that. He understands her love is warm, but it is not blind. Her empathy runs deep, but it doesn't stretch forever to cover someone else's immaturity. You can't keep crossing her limits and expect full access to her. A woman like this doesn't need to raise her voice. Her boundaries do the talking for her. In a world where many women were taught to tolerate everything, a woman who can say no without anger is rare. That kind of restraint is powerful. She keeps her mystery because her life doesn't revolve around him. There's a real difference between being emotionally open and being emotionally consumed. When a woman doesn't feel whole on her own, she often makes a man the center of everything. Her day revolves around him. Her mood rises and falls with his messages. Her sense of value depends on how much attention he gives. She places her unrealized life onto him and hands him control over her emotional climate. A woman of depth lives differently. She builds a full life that has meaning with or without a man. She has interests that exist because she loves them, not because they impress him. She has friendships that feed her spirit. She has goals, emotional, spiritual, creative, professional, that matter to her at a soul level. When he texts, she's glad to hear from him, but she isn't sitting in silence waiting. He steps into a life already moving forward. That creates real mystery, not games. He doesn't know everything about her in the first week. She shares herself slowly, layer by layer, as trust grows. She isn't hiding. She simply isn't pouring her entire inner world onto the table out of fear of losing connection. Mystery here isn't manipulation. It's respect for herself. It's knowing that her inner world is a garden, not an open park. She doesn't leave her own story behind to become a side character in his. That's what makes her unforgettable, because many women disappear inside relationships. It's rare to meet a woman who can love deeply and still remain fully herself. That rarity feels like luxury. She learns to manage her emotions instead of making him responsible for them. We live in a culture that mistakes emotional chaos for personality. People confuse intensity with depth, drama with passion, instability with love. A woman who hasn't learned how to hold herself will look to a man to calm every storm. If he doesn't reply quickly, she spirals. If his tone shifts, she panics. If he's stressed, she assumes she's about to be abandoned. Her nervous system depends on his reassurance. A woman with grounding builds a different habit. She learns how to soothe herself. She doesn't deny her feelings. She simply takes responsibility for them. When she feels the urge to send 10 anxious messages, she pauses. She breathes. She writes. She talks to someone she trusts. When she feels triggered, she asks herself, is this about what's happening now, or is this something old being activated? When he needs space, she doesn't fall apart. She gives space and uses that time to care for herself. Her emotions are still full and alive. She feels deeply. She cries. She laughs. She loves. But she doesn't turn him into the caretaker of her entire inner world. That doesn't mean she never asks for reassurance. It means she doesn't require him to constantly save her from herself. A man experiences this as stability, not coldness, not distance. Stability, he realizes he can be honest without causing a blow-up. He can have a hard day without it becoming proof that she isn't lovable. He can take space to breathe without everything collapsing. In a world full of overstimulation and anxiety, a woman who can sit with her own feelings without immediately projecting them onto someone else becomes a place of calm. Not because she lacks emotion, but because she's anchored. And that feels like luxury. She speaks honestly about what she wants, without apologizing for it. Many women hide their true desires because they're afraid honesty will push him away. They say they're fine with casual when they aren't. They say they don't need commitment while craving depth and devotion. They lower their standards hoping that being easygoing will make him stay. That creates an inner split between what they want and what they allow themselves to admit. A woman of clarity tells the truth even when her voice shakes. Not as a threat, not as pressure, just as honesty. She can say, I enjoy being with you, and I'm at a point in my life where I want something intentional and committed. If that's not where you are, I respect it, but it won't work for me long term. She doesn't try to change him. She simply shares her reality. Then she aligns her actions with her words. If he says he isn't ready, she doesn't stay hoping time will fix it. If his behavior shows he wants convenience instead of commitment, she doesn't explain it away. She believes what she sees and responds accordingly. This kind of truth is rare because it does two things at once. It protects her time and emotional energy, and it allows the right man to recognize her immediately. Truth filters. Men who want to play see her clarity and step back. Men who already feel relief, there's no guessing here. A woman who can stand firmly in her desire without shrinking or demanding leaves a lasting impression. She isn't trying to trap anyone. She isn't pretending she doesn't want love. She stands steady and says, I would rather walk alone than twist myself into someone I'm not just to keep you. That is luxury. It is choosing to honor your body and your energy like they matter, like they are sacred resources. The feminine body is not only physical. It is emotional. It is intuitive. It is energetic. And when a woman does not see herself as valuable, she gives all of that away too easily. Her time is open to anyone. Her presence is open to anyone. Her body becomes available to anyone who offers a brief moment of closeness. She mistakes access for intimacy. She is trying to fill something inside by spreading herself thin on the outside. A luxury woman treats herself like something sacred, not something limited. Sacred means not everyone gets physical access to her. Not everyone gets to touch her, hold her, or pull on her energy. She understands that intimacy is not only about bodies, it is about nervous systems, emotional safety, and shared direction. Her habit is to pause and ask herself, does my body feel safe with this man? Does my intuition feel calm around him? Do I feel nourished or drained after being with him? And if the answer keeps coming back as no, she does not ignore it just because she feels lonely. She is open with kindness, laughter, and warmth, but she is careful with deeper access. She says no when it is a no. She leaves when her body feels tense around someone again and again. She does not silence her inner voice with desire or fantasy. A man feels this difference. He senses that this level of closeness is not given just for showing up. He knows he has to show that he is safe, consistent, and serious. In a world where many people are disconnected from their own bodies, a woman who listens to hers, who respects her own yes and no is rare. Her presence feels like a gift, not something owed. And then there is something even deeper. The final habit may be the most important of all. A woman becomes an option when she places a man at the center of her universe. Her identity starts revolving around his mood, his schedule, his attention. When he pulls away, life feels empty. When he comes closer, everything feels meaningful again. And if he leaves, she feels like she has lost her purpose. She has handed her inner authority to another human being, someone just as imperfect as she is. A luxury woman is anchored more deeply than that. She lives in partnership with something bigger than any one man. Her connection with God, her soul, her values, her calling. This does not mean she does not need love or connection. It means her deepest need is not placed on a man's shoulders. Her habit is to return to that deeper anchor again and again. When she feels confused, she does not only ask, "What does he think?" She also asks, "What feels peaceful inside me? Does this align with who I am becoming?" When she feels lonely, she does not only reach outward, she also turns inward. She writes, she prays, she walks, she breathes. She remembers that she had a life before him and she will have a life after him. This grounding changes how she loves. She does not cling from fear, she chooses from fullness. She does not make a man responsible for being her entire source. She invites him to walk beside her while they both continue growing. A man may not explain this in deep or spiritual language, but he feels it. He senses that she is grounded. She does not fall apart when he has a bad day. She does not place him on a pedestal. And because she does not worship him, he can relax and be human around her. In a world full of anxious attachment, a woman who is rooted in more than romance is rare. She loves deeply, but she does not disappear inside love. If you are still here, this part is for you. As you listen, you might feel two things at once. A quiet sting, because some of this shows you where you accepted being an option, and a spark, because something inside you knows you were never meant to stay there. You are not less than because you accepted crumbs before. You were doing the best you could with what you believed at the time. The fear of being alone, the belief that your needs were too much, the idea that you had to shrink to keep love. The woman who lives like an option and the woman who moves like a luxury are not two different people. They are two different levels of you. One was shaped by fear and old wounds. The other is shaped by awareness, boundaries healing, and alignment. Every small choice you make from this moment forward matters. Every time you pause instead of chasing. Every time you speak honestly instead of performing. Every time you say no instead of abandoning yourself. Every time you return to your connection with God, instead of placing a man at the center, you move closer to that grounded version of you. Not because you are becoming someone fake, but because you are letting go of everything that convinced you that you were anything less than rare. If something inside you is whispering, "I am ready to stop being treated like an option," type the word luxury in the comments if you feel called to. Not to impress anyone, but to mark this moment with yourself. The moment you quietly decide, "I will not live beneath my own soul again." And if this spoke to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss what comes next. When you are getting ready to sleep tonight, do not scroll through memories of people who once made you feel small. The playlist at the end of this video is there for you. Let it play softly as you fall asleep. Your body can rest while your subconscious listens. Keep releasing the belief that you must beg to be chosen. Keep anchoring these habits of self-respect, softness, and strength. Save the playlist. Fall asleep with it. Let these messages move from your mind into your body, and from your body into your life. And one day, you will notice how you move, how you speak, how you love. And you will realize you are no longer trying to be the exception in someone else's world. You have become the woman whose energy, presence, and standards make it clear to him, to others, and most importantly to yourself, that you were always a luxury, never an option.